All right, guys. So if you are an entrepreneur like myself and you usually have like a gazillion and one great business ideas, or you are a current business owner and you have like this new product line that you want to introduce to market, but you just don't know exactly how to like organize the pieces together and actually generate new leads. You're like struggling with that like delta between having this great concept that you probably think is a really great idea and then like how to actually bring it to market. So, peace guys, I'm Mike with Lemon Squeeze Marketing. Right now, I'm putting together the 2025 definitive guide to generating leads boot camp. All right, so I'm taking you guys behind the scenes right now because I'm creating this new course. I want it to be accessible to as many people as possible. And it's really about figuring out what took me about 3 years in real life to figure out. You typically, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you have like a very entrepreneur spirit, like you have these great ideas, um, but you just need like someone to like show you step by step how do you go from like concept to like bringing it to market. I struggled through that for about 3 years. And so now I'm creating this boot camp where I'm taking you step by step exactly how to take a new product to market. All right. So in a previous video in this series, I walk you through the course outline. But just for sanity's sake, I'm just gonna just mention again the areas that we're gonna cover in that boot camp. And then in this one, as I'm walking through this, guys, I'm actually in real time right now finishing off this course. So once I walk you guys through this, I'm gonna pick one of these sections and then I'm gonna post some more behind the scenes footage as like a free video of me covering like one of the modules or maybe a lesson from the module just to give you guys a preview of what the full boot camp will be like. All right. So if you guys want like an overview of the boot camp, it's a hands-on boot camp and it teaches entrepreneurs how to define, launch, and generate qualified leads for any product or service. So this will work for any niche. It's like, how do you actually gain clarity and how, more importantly, how do you get more qualified leads? I know you guys seen like a bunch of other tutorials that give you all of these cool tips, but like someone to show you like bringing a real new product to market, like how do I actually get more leads? And so in this boot camp, we're actually rolling out Lemon Squeeze Marketing's new funding procurement services. So the boot camp that I'm about to like show you guys that I'm working on is you guys will actually see us bringing a new product to market and generating new leads, us testing out different marketing strategies, and us giving you guys our real results. All right, so let's just go through this boot camp outline. All right. So if you are trying to figure out like how to get organized as far as bringing a new product to market or expanding a product line, this is to me like there's like six main kind of like I would say like pillars that you need to make sure you have fully ironed out before you're actually ready to go to market. So in the first module in the boot camp, we're going to go over product clarity and go to market strategy. All right, guys, this is very important. I think that I spent probably the first year and a half of business struggling because I had not defined my product clear enough. Um, Pricing tiers. We're actually going to go through and create. Let me see if I can give you guys a preview. Okay, so this is a preview, right? So we actually needed to do this for Lemon Squeeze marketing. So this is an exercise where you guys are actually going to work through creating a products and services document. You're actually going to create tiers. So for example, in our case, let me just close this. We have three different tiers for our funding procurement services, right? So they're broken up. We have our prices, we have our tiers, we have a description of what the each tier includes. All right. And then we also have a visual. So you guys are actually going to have practice like going through. We're first going to like, have a brainstorm session where you're trying to like, okay, this is the product I want to bring to market. Finding like a comp to it, etc. But in this first section, 1.1 is going to be all about defining your product. All right. And 1.2, we're going to decide on pricing tiers and offers. So that's what you guys just saw on the screen. Now, the next section is going to be a long section, and it's all about identifying your brand personality and style. Let me show you guys this. By the end of that lesson, you guys are going to have a brand kit. All right. So if I go to Lemon Squeeze Marketing's brand kit, there's a brand identity section. All right. It just spells out very clearly like our brand name, the founder, the industry that we're in, our current location, our products, and our core purpose. I felt in my experience with my clients, so many of my so many times we're lost on like what exactly is our core purpose, what exactly are our products. Like we're still like kind of like in an idea stage, and we need to have like an ironed out business plan when you're about to bring a new product to market. It needs to like that creativity needs to be matched with fact, and plan, and more importantly strategy. All right. So in it, so some more components that you'll have in your brand kit. So you'll have your brand identity. Okay. You'll also have your brand voice and tone. Now, this section is very important. Let's say that you want to feed chat. I use ChatGPT a lot, especially for me personally. I use ChatGPT to like to make what I'm saying very concise. Or me, I am money might fold. Fold, it's not exactly lemon squeeze marketing. If you get what I'm saying, like the way that I might speak might be a little bit different than the branding and messaging of lemon squeeze marketing. All right. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that by the end of this lesson in our boot camp, you're going to be able to like have your brand voice, your brand tone and communication style, so that anytime you're like training a model in ChatGPT or you're giving it a command, let's say that I wanted ChatGPT to, matter of fact, I'm gonna do a demonstration. Like how generic. Better, I'll wait to the boot camp. I'm gonna do a demonstration where like you generically give ChatGPT a command, like prepare some social media content, just generically, and then you say, okay, ChatGPT, do this task, but using this brand personality, using this tone of communication style. These are my tagline and phrases. Like, this is my brand messaging. Here are my key. Like, this is essentially giving your brand personality, and it's giving your brand consistency. It's the reason why, like, if I say Publix, you get a certain feel. You get, like, what colors come to mind. Shopping's supposed to be a pleasure. You understand, you have a certain expectation of the communication, the customer service, right? If I say Walmart, you have a certain expectation. You get what I'm saying? Like, if I say Waffle House, you have a certain, expectation. If I say Gatorade, you have a certain expectation. If I say Nike, you have a certain expectation, right? It's because they have done a great job at branding. Their brand has a personality. You already like they have brand recognition, but none of that's coincidence. It's because they have strategically put together like their brand voice and tone, their brand messaging, taglines, for example, um, like your key messaging pillars. Another thing, your visual identity. You know Walmart sign as soon as you see it. You know the public sign as soon as you see it. You know the golden arches as soon as you see it. All of those are the details that separates a good business from a great business. And also, it makes all the difference with your customers. This is an extremely, like, it is extremely competitive out there. There are going to be businesses that take their business seriously, who did the photo shoot, who invested in their visuals, who look professional when you go to their website. And that's who you're competing against. Like, you want clients to buy into your brand, right? Your brand needs to be a representation. Like, it's a representation of you, what you stand for. All of that goes into branding. So, for example, we're actually going to create a brand kit together in Canva. That's going to be one of the exercises that we do together. We're going to create a brand kit. If you look down here, we actually have a color palette. Now, why does that matter? Let's say that I'm about to publish content on social media, right? Like if I go from my website to my social media, like it should feel like you should know and feel like you're at the exact same company, right? Everything should be consistent. And so what we have mapped out is our brand colors. We have our logos here, right? And it's conveniently put in this little asset thing in our brand kit. You can even define the colors. So, I mean, you can even define a font family and all that kind of stuff. So by the end of this lesson, you guys will have a document like this. So you'll have this brand kit document that completely outlines top to bottom all the important things about your branding. You guys will also get the Chat GPT prompt that will allow you to just like brain dump anything you could possibly think of about your brand, and then just tell ChatGPT, okay, with everything that I just told you, here is what I need you to create. And we'll have that like prompt for you guys. And ChatGPT will put this in like to an organized document that you're going to use as your brand kit. All right. Is there anything else? Even brand application. So what I'm thinking about, for example, I need to design the new landing page for the funding procurement services that Lemon Squeeze Marketing is offering. I got somewhere. I was somewhere in the weeds on the blog, but I'm about to start working on our landing page. And my brand kit, it already tells me like pretty much like the how to design, like you know what I'm saying, like the design schema for the background or for the web page because it's already kind of told me what styling to go for. Same thing with our social media and marketing, like the brand applications, the email and client communication. Even like I said, especially if you guys are going to be using ChatGPT, like the more specific you are, or any other I'll call it virtual assistant technology tool, marketing material. So you'll have a final thought section that just gives you ironed out like the direction of your brand. And just emphasizing like how to be consistent on each platform. And then I also have my logos here. Now this section is called our brand clarity documents. So you're gonna create a who we are, a slogan, a mission, vision, core values, and you're gonna begin to basically collect testimonials. Testimonials, oh my gosh. Testimonials are so important. I think that sometimes we're afraid to do things quote unquote for free because we don't understand the investment. If you are a brand new business and like as of right now you don't have any clients, so you don't have any client testimonials, you need to find a inexpensive but high value like something you could do for your business. For example, I used to give people free logos, or I would do like a free consulting section, which I'm about to revamp. I'll give you guys an example. So when we roll out our funding procurement services, right, as a brand new product line, one of the things that I'm going to offer is a free consultation, and not going to say in exchange, but and ask like, hey, if this was very helpful for you, would you mind leaving me a review? Because reviews are major. Even if this particular client right here that I just gave a free consultation to, even if they're not ready to like, necessarily hire me to do funding procurement for them, when they leave that review, the next person that comes across my page, they see that I did an excellent job with the consultation that I gave this person, and they see that I have reviews. I look way more trustworthy. And on top of that, search engines typically, like whatever platform you're using, it doesn't matter if it's Google, Fiverr, whatever, they are going to prioritize reviews because that is like a way to like check, like, okay, the quality of the candidate, and they have a vested interest in returning the most qualified candidates so that more users continue to use their platform. So testimonials are going to definitely be something big that we make sure we iron out for you. Now before we get to the testimonials, we're actually going to I'm gonna move services up. Services should be right before the testimonials. I think I was just trying to get organized with this and in your contacts. So we definitely want to have like a contact information section. Like where you clearly have, actually, I think it might be at the top, where you clearly have, this is very important, even your operating hours. It's because like you need to be consistent across all platforms. And search engines like Google pay attention to those kind of details. If on one platform you're saying you have one set of operating hours, and on a different platform, you're saying that you have a different set of operating hours. Like you might get penalized like that when it comes to Google returning you in your ranking and all that kind of stuff. All right. So we want to make sure that we have consistent branding and then also consistent contact information across all platforms. And so that's what we're going to actually like do in our data science. Sorry, data science boot camp. That's my other that's my other company. In our definitive lead generation boot camp. Sorry guys. Had data science on the brain. And then our freebie. So we are going to design a high converting freebie that everybody wants. All right. And that's going to come from us actually have done market research. So what I just went through with you guys is just this one lesson in our boot camp. So that full branding, that full brand kit, that's what we're gonna do in lesson 1.3. So if you have been like stuck on being able to just like fully iron out your branding, that's something we're gonna cover in this boot camp. You can't even move forward with marketing your business before you get your branding together. All right. After we get your branding together, we're going to go over your buyer persona. All right, guys. So make sure you guys come back for video 2, where I'm going to walk you guys through in the boot camp, um, what we're going to cover as far as the buyer persona and the targeting. And I'll even give you guys some examples of the personas that we're targeting for the funding procurement example that we give and that we do in the boot camp. All right. So if I have sparked your attention, if I've sparked your attention, this course is going to launch on June the 1st. For the first 45 students, it is only $299 per month. It's going to be a 3-month course. And it's going to be the definitive guide to how to generate new leads. And as you guys can see from the course outline, it's seriously how you go from like, I kind of sort of have this like product idea to you being confident and launching a new product, taking it to market. So whether you're about to launch a new, nonprofit, or you're about to do a new t-shirt line, or you're about to have a new sneaker company, or you want to reach new fans, like this is how you go from like, I kind of sort of have this idea to like you being taken seriously as a business, as an entrepreneur who has real customers, who has real leads, who has a real lead generation strategy, who has a real sales funnel. All right. Who actually is performing multi-channel marketing. All right. So in our next video, I'm going to do an overview of how we're going to do buyer persona and targeting. So make sure you guys come back for video 2, where we are going over what the definitive 2025 lead generation guide boot camp is going to cover. All right. I will see you guys in the next tutorial. All right, let's see how this goes. Let's see how many times it takes me to end this meeting.